Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P4. Thinking right out here in the lab, in my book. I got some good stuff for you today, so let's get this party started. I'm excited. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune into receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission, excuse me, is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where I'm going with this? So let's get that together. And I'm going to ask the question. Do you know you? You will when I'm through. That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do. A person who knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not, it's simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know the danger, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know, they spiritual asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you, right? Thinkers know thyself and always to my yacht. Be true. We're in chapter 3. I bypassed chapter 1. I'm going to have to go back. I saw some information out in there. This we are now. Chapter 3 in the book, Mysteries of Isis. Okay. This is the way to be work your way to become immortal and knowing God, becoming one with God for yourself. So right thinkers, let's talk about the oneness of God and the teachings of the oneness of God. This should be interesting. Good information here too. Now, the many Egyptian cosmogonies, meaning concepts, and ritual systems are in reality leading you toward the realization, the spiritual realization of the same supreme being. All religions are supposed to get you to God, relink you to your essence, to your source, so to speak. They're not doing a good job. But during the period of the 18th dynasty, Egyptian religion went through what they call a short-lived phase. What happened? In which only one symbol of God was allowed to be worshipped. That's the sun disk. Okay, we had a. Let me get to the lesson. I ain't gonna go ahead and sum up, but I know. So I'm just reading. Go through the lesson. All right. So and this occurred under the reign of Akhenaten from circa 1379 to 1362. So he had a 17-year run, okay, where he changed the whole God worship concept, okay, amongst his people. A lot of people didn't like that. Watch this. Now, he was a sage. He's a high priest and a sage. So he had knowledge, he had philosophy. Let's talk about it. And he suppressed all the older God symbols, including this where he went too far. Amun Ra. When you supplant Amun Ra and he instituted Atum, which is just the sun disk, okay? Not the hidden one, the sin. Nope. Just, okay, this was his concept. He gave the sun all the praise, okay? And represented by what? The solar sun disk as the only God. Went a little off the rails there, but this is his concept. And remember, when you are the Pharaoh, when you got total power, you pretty much do what you want. And he's exercising his right. And what he was doing, he was renouncing the old gods. Not good. And he introduced worship of what they call the sun god, Atum, Aton, or Aten. Aten. Again, the O and the E is synonymous in Egyptian concept vowels. And he established what they called then a new capital at what? Akhenaten. That was the spot that he picked. And Atum, which is symbolized by the underlying essence of phenomenal reality as well as phenomenal reality itself. They're saying that he's saying that the sun disk is all. That didn't go well. Many researchers of Egyptian religion have considered him to be what they say the first monotheist. Y'all claim that Moses was. Sorry about that. All right, moving on. Okay. However, Akhenaten only wanted, this was his intent, to return to what he thought was the original idea of the supreme deity, which was always the sun disk, okay, which had existed prior to the development of all these various companies of gods and goddesses and numerous local deities. Meaning y'all just sprouting up gods here and there. And yeah, he didn't take to that too kindly. So Akhenaten never promoted the idea that the sun itself was God, which is okay, we got that, but that it was and is the visible. We know that already. So, but what's this? The dynamic representation. Remember, let there be. Before there was anything, we was in the darkness. And the sun is what brought us out of the darkness and created time and space as we know it, the Big Bang, when light and dark came together to clash. Okay, so, and it represented the transcendental essence of the supreme being, again, which transcends time and space. Before he said, let there be, he was here. God was present. Okay, the spirit was in all that. Yeah. But we all understand that concept. So moving on. But at this point, watch this. This point is proven by the following passages. Watch this in the ancient Egyptian text concerning Amun Ra and Ptah. They were the standard. That was it. 18 dynasties has been that. Now he come along. He gonna change it. It didn't go well. Watch this. And the creation myths. He changed existed. All this stuff existed before him prior to the reign of Akhenaten. But remember, as a child, he was taught, he was learned, and he got understanding. And when he got to be king, he exercised his right. Now, in essence, he was trying to reform the worship of God and of society in general. I guess he didn't like the way things were going, so he wanted to change it. Okay, it's his prerogative, but you know how people are. Change don't go well. But the idea of monotheism, the one single God, pantheism, pantheism, it all existed in Egypt because the concept in Egypt and Ethiopia and prior to their emergence anywhere else in the world. But Akhenaten wanted to encourage a more naturalistic style of Egyptian royal, what's that, poetry of life in general. He wanted a better life for, I guess, his people. He saw Atum as the same benefactor of all religions and sought to establish a new order. Sound familiar? Of social justice. This is way before the Greeks come in. This is way before anybody else. This is just us. Okay, understand that. But he established a new order of social justice, what he thought, wherein what? All citizens could now partake in the riches of society, meaning the higher ups, lower, upper, lower. No, he wanted to bring them together. I guess he wanted to be a more middle class society where people can pretty much have their way. He saw change. He was trying to make change. He saw things he didn't particularly care for. He tried to address them. And the idea is, what's this? UA means one. Netta means one God. Only one. These are, and they got all these signs. Okay, these are hieroglyphic signs that I'm just reading about. Only one without a second. That's non-dual. That means God was singular, the only one. They all knew that. One. Their concept never changed. But now I'm going to read the following passage. It comes from the Egyptian book of Coming Forth by Day. It says, I praise thee, Lord of gods. You see with the plural? God one, living in truth. You're the Lord of gods. That means the gods is under you. You're the high. You're the one. Yeah, that's what they understood, and they made it known. It was no secret. Okay. Now, the following passage is taken from a passage where the princess Nisi Kenshu glorifies Amen-Ra. The august soul, which which came into being in the primeval times. The great, the great God living in truth. Remember, God is pure truth, all truth, nothing but the truth. So help you God. In himself, that's all he is. Okay, they knew that. The first 9 gods, the Enoch, okay, we talk about the Syrian myth, who gave birth to the other 2, 9 gods. The being is whom every God exists. The one, again, the one, the creator, the self-creator, and the creator of the gods who appeared when what? When the earth took form in the beginning. This is the creation story. Whose birth is hidden, whose forms are manifold, whose germination cannot be known. That's God in the flesh. You can't count them. They're uncountable, like the sands in the sea, the sands in the desert. Uncountable, unmovable. Moving on. But here's the bust of the guy. This is the sage King Akhenaten. Now, they say he was the weird guy. They try to say he was an alien. They give him a whole bunch of nonsense. But what he's portraying here, he was the king, the crook and the flair. He got that. You see, he got the arrays. He got everything going, the false beard. So he was the pharaoh, okay? But he also was a sage. That meant a learned man, okay? Sages are knowledgeable brothers, okay? I should know. All right, so let me talk about this right quick. This should be interesting. Now, I just showed you the bust of sage King Akhenaten from the 18th dynasty. Now, a similar situation is what occurred during the Akhenaten's time occurred in Christianity, the same issue. During the time of the creation and the rise of Islam, yeah, it came out of Egypt, the corruption of the Egyptian society in general had prompted a call for reform. Right there, that it had to be something to trigger my man to feel the way he felt and change the thing he wanted to change because he actually saw something that he didn't particularly care for. Corruption. Okay, he's seen it, he experienced it, and he couldn't wait to get in a position of power to what? Change it. But again, like anything else, when everything is going bad, those who make it go bad wanted to go bad. They're benefiting, they're profiting. Okay, sounds familiar? Okay, he wanted to change what? So society can be better, and he was making a change for the better for his people, as he figured. And thus now, Akhenaten, as the king of ancient Egypt, and within his rule and his power, as national spiritual leader, again, as a sage, a teacher, he attempted to make reforms in the spiritual character of his ancient Egyptians and its relations with what other countries. Like us right now, we got to be the laughing stock. Why? We got a clown as a president. Everybody knows that. So we got no respect. Okay, we need Dangerfields right now. So therefore, he what? He confiscated much of the wealth of those in what? In religious communities, those well-to-do people whom he thought were corrupt. Yep, robbing the people. Got him. And watch that. Now this was back a long time ago, thousands of years ago. It was still happening, and he had a chance to do something about it. And they still mocked and scorned him. Watch this. Now I like this is my dude. Why? Because I know what he was trying to do. I'm trying to get you to see how when you want to do something, why every time somebody do something good and right for the people, not for himself, not for the no, but for the people, you're never a good guy. It ain't just started. Okay, now he tried to foster, what's this? He tried to foster an atmosphere of what, brotherhood? Amongst the neighboring countries, mainly amongst his people. How? By reducing appropriations for the military. He stopped spending money or overspending on the military, and thus he reduced the what? The belligerent stance of the ancient Egyptian empire, meaning he was putting his money elsewhere other than just building up the military, like most people do. All that money, yeah, we ready for war. If you're building a war, you're gonna have a war. Why? Because that's what you're stocking up for. Moving on. But during that time, his time, he recognized that the high gods of other countries are what? In reality, just symbolic forms of the same divinity which was worshipped where? Right here in Egypt. And many of the higher ranking members of the clergy at that time, as well as many nobles, remember, noblemen were educated men. That's why Masons tell you we practice building the tools from Masons. We use them for what? A more noble and glorious purpose, to educate ourselves, to make ourselves noblemen. Okay, that's what they're supposed to be. That's what it represented in the beginning. And watch this. And who had practiced the cults, Masons, of various Egyptian deities for thousands of years, rejected many of his efforts. Nobody was on board. And strife now arose where? Within his own country. His own people turned against him. And it wasn't so much his people. Remember, it was the powers that be. He tried to help the people, but the powers that be didn't see it that way. And some did not understand his intention and purpose, and others who opposed him. Why? Because their own chosen deity would now seem to be supplanted, and their finances was starting to go down. And foreign countries used this opportunity. Scooby, to what? Encroach upon Egyptian holdings, and after Akhenaten's death, everything went to shit, so to speak, excuse me. But Egypt reverted what? Back to the ways of worship as they were before the time of Akhenaten. That's the lesson I'm in right now. I got some more stuff coming up, but I got to run. And closing, right thinkers, may you all let it be 100 me, 100 minus a day. So I never know that my right thinkers have passed away. I'll be right back.